Hey guys, Craig here, Fergie Time. Today got a fun episode. Matt and Julie, the Aqua Jeep couple. Julie's Aqua Jeep girl and Matt is Aqua Jeep guy, and they're amazing. I hope you get something from it. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Alright guys, hey, Fergie Time. I have Matt and Julie, the Aqua Jeep girl and guy, with us today.
Girl to those who know me well.
Mr. Aqua. Well, she had her IG tag first, right?
That's right.
It's about the Aqua Jeep. So
He's got stripes, so we let him hang out.
Man, I've been following you guys for quite a while, and I love your videos. And Matt, I know you're kind of, I guess, more recent, not with the wheeling, but with the Instagram. And you're both like just blowing up. Tell me how you guys got started into off-road and Jeeping and all that fun stuff.
Well, I got started, I had my Jeep first. So I wanted a Jeep for like 30 years though. Back in college, my roommate, I went to college in Southern California. I went to UC Irvine, which is not too far from the beach and was one of the better decisions I've made in my lifetime. My roommate had a cute little YJ and very generously taught me how to drive stick shift on that. And we cruised around the beach in that all the time and had just an absolute blast. No doors, bikini top on the top, and just a couple 20-year-old girls bebopping around the beach. Very positive association with the vehicle. So it was super fun. And I just love that open air, alive feeling, and wanted a Jeep ever since. And then I moved back to Pennsylvania, got a real career job, met and married this guy.
Maybe one of the not best decisions she ever made.
And we started our family, and I went down the whole practical mom car route for many years, and the practical mom life, which is never putting yourself first. And you know, gosh, a minivan or a Jeep? What should we have, guys? A minivan. I'm like, oh, awesome, you know. So fast forward many years later, and I had a milestone birthday coming along, and our older girls were pretty much grown, and we were foster parents during that season, but we didn't have any little guys home with us on my birthday. So we went out and we were looking. We had talked about Jeeps for a while, and I finally said, you know what, I think this is the right time to do it. And I went and bought it, and then literally like 3 days later, one of the kids came back, and then the next week the other one came back. But
we set them free, and they came back,
and now they're ours.
And we adopted them. So
nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
You know. But car seats work just as well in the back of a Jeep, it turns out. So I wish I had the chutzpah to do it sooner. But that's how I got my Jeep in the first place. So I've had her about 5 years. It'll be 6 years in July.
Yeah, I read.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
David, I had him on once too. So you've had your Jeep for 6 years, and like what you've done in the last 6 years is
not at all what I thought I was going to do. For the record, I got it. I really wanted to go to see some water. We lived in Arizona, and I wanted to get some trees and water is really all I aspired to. And then on the way to the water, there were these couple rocks I went over the first couple times, and I thought, gosh, that was fun, you know? And so the rest, as they say, is history. 3 builds later and a bunch of other things. But I'm a really cautious person. I don't ride roller coasters. I'm not one to ever jump out of anything. Like, I don't do hot air balloons. I'm a chicken. And the fact that I enjoy technical rock crawling and some slightly sketchy things surprises me more than anyone.
So you got the Jeep and you're going crazy. And then, so Matt, you're just watching, playing Passenger Princess. What's going on there?
Absolutely. I mean,
he was my spotter, my videographer, my schlepper of all the things.
No, I was basically there to support her. So, you know, the thing, I kind of figured this out a while ago. This goes out to anybody who's watching. This is like life advice from Matt.
Free advice.
Okay.
So the one thing that I did that was really, really good. Find the thing that your wife loves to do and join her in it. And that's what I did. What's funny is that I had been building four-wheel drive vehicles. I had a YJ before.
We had this crazy YJ he built for like 3 years.
LS swap.
Wheeled it 3 times in those 3 years.
I had problem after problem after problem with that.
We learned that we are not builders.
But I also put together 2 Ford F-250s from the 70s, and I had a couple of other things, you know, that I had kind of rebuilt and whatnot, and loved that stuff, right? In terms of actually getting out and wheeling, I didn't experience that until you got your Jeep. And that first Schnebley Hill Road.
Oh my gosh, that was
thing
our very
that we
first
did.
trip. We just gotten, and she wasn't even blue yet. She was still black.
Right.
We just gotten her. I got a 2-inch lift done by the dealership, the Mopar lift, and I added 35-inch tires. And I thought she was the Shazam at that point. As far as we went up to Sedona for the weekend and took on this badge of honor trail called Schnebley Hill Road, which is like just rocky and bumpy.
It's a little more than a road with, I don't know,
a lot of rocks and bumps.
A lot of rocks and bumps.
Very pretty.
Basically.
We get there on 42 PSI, having no idea what we're doing. And we start down this road and it's like rattling our teeth out of our head. It is the most uncomfortable experience ever. Who does this? Why do people like this? This is horrible. So we're like, all right, let's air down. So we have nothing to air down with. You know, we're using a rock and we're like pushing the little valve stem in, you know, trying to get a little air out. We get down to like 35. We think we've let all this air out. Because what do I know? I don't know anything. I was always raised, never drive on a flat tire. That's crazy. You always have full pressure in your tires. This is insane. So I get down to 35. We drive a little further, shakes us to pieces again. We stop, we take out more air. This went on 6 or 7 stops. We weren't the quickest studies. Finally, we get down to about 15 PSI and we can actually drive on this road.
Like, dang, this is good.
Okay, this is a lot better, you know? So we like to learn things the hard way, unfortunately.
Yep.
You know, when you're a new wheeler, especially, it's like, oh my gosh, you know.
And she's a manual. So just for everybody's knowledge, she drives a manual. Almost nobody drives a manual. That's how we were able to get a pretty good deal on
I got a killer deal on it.
On the rig, because it was like a year and a half on the lot. So we had a lot.
Have you ever thought about changing it to an automatic?
You know, it's funny, when I got my new engine, my kind friends who let me have, actually, you know, Tom and Sarah, Off-Road Affair, who donated their engine takeout from their Gladiator, they included their transmission with it, actually. So I actually briefly considered swapping it because I have a transmission just sitting there. But to be honest, I really like driving a stick shift. I know it doesn't seem logical to most people, but I honestly feel like I'm a little bit more in control. If it doesn't stall, it's delightful. But when it stalls and I'm in kind of a technical spot, it's not the best. But even with that, I just like driving stick. I always have. So
Matt's off-road game, what is that?
I've been now, and I really can't tell you. I don't understand what's going on.
I think I can summarize it.
Okay, you help.
So Matt's off-road. First of all, Matt and his family are tremendously good people. For people that actually know who they are,
they're very sweet, very nice.
They
people.
are just the nicest people, as well as all of the other folks that are on-air YouTube type people. We really have a really good time with them. They appeal to a huge. I mean, obviously, millions of people are watching, right? And think about how many people, even if you get like 1% of those people to come to your event, that's a huge turnout, right?
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of people in town.
I mean, there were people there from Great Britain, from like around the world that were there for the very first time that they've ever visited the US. A lot of people that were there are into off-roading, but I think a lot of people are off-road adjacent, and there's just so much excitement. There's so many different things going on there. It was really interesting.
Some of it is YouTubers who aren't into off-roading driving off-road vehicles for the first time on the trail. That's part of it. And then there's like the wreckers that are going through but they were all on the same trail at the same time. I think then they had like a lot of stuff like this year. I don't know if this is different this year, but they had like stadium seating set up like down on the flat sand area. And then they had stuff going on down there for people. Then there's like a whole vendor show as well.
The vendor show was huge. Huge show.
So people like waiting in line for like an hour to meet Matt and get signatures and a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Their favorite YouTuber. It was a very heavy YouTube. I'm gonna let the dog out.
An amazing event. If you're at all interested in marketing at all, like if you're interested in that, it's crazy. Actually, it's just such a neat event for that type of thing.
If you were to pick one event to go to in Utah area, which one would it be?
Trail Hero.
It's really kind of the best of all worlds. You know, I feel like it's a well-run event. There's something for everyone there. It's big. The weather's glorious. It's beautiful here, and it's not as wild as King of the Hammers, but there's a party aspect to it with the music fest and all that kind of stuff. But there's also quieter opportunities too, and it's got a really good vendor show as well. And it's guided trails. If you're new to Sand Hollow, Trail Hero was our first introduction to Sand Hollow when we first came out. Having a spotter and a guide your first time in Trail Hero, very, very important. And a good one would be even better.
I mean, obviously,
Winter Jam is another one that we love too. It's a different vibe than Trail Hero. It's a bit quieter, and I love it. Yeah. It's a little cold though in January. I'm not a cold weather person. Yeah. But Winter Jamboree is a great introduction as well. And they have I think the guiding there might be even a little better.
The guiding is really good too. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's just, and they're great people, very charitable.
Full disclosure, we are Trail Hero ambassadors, so we love Trail Hero, you know. So
we support.
But we definitely support our local community.
If we could go to EJS in Moab, we would do that.
Yeah.
This year, we're not going to be able to make that. But that's also a good event to support.
So, Julie, you went from stock manual Jeep to where you're now in like 6 years. What's the biggest?
It's been rebuilt 3 times. So I went through 3 different iterations of, this is all I'm going to need. And then built her again because I wanted more. So
what's been the biggest challenge so far? Building or just getting to that point where you're now doing the technical stuff?
The biggest challenge on the building, of course, is financial. It's very expensive to rebuild your Jeep and rebuild it again and then rebuild it again. We are not mechanically inclined. I respect and really appreciate those who are. We've tried, when we had our YJ, we would try to do things on it. So we would pay for the parts or whatever and try to do the work ourselves and then mess it all up and then have to pay a professional a second time to redo all the things that we weren't successful doing. We did that multiple times. We decided we would much rather spend our time wheeling than wrenching. And no offense to those who wrench, I have total respect, mad props to you guys. Not a skill that I have, not one that I really want to gain. I think some of it comes down to your own confidence and your own willingness to take the risk. I think there's a lot of risk involved as you level up to the harder and harder trails. And there's a lot of psychological stuff that goes into it, like overcoming obstacles is like not only literal in wheeling, but there's a figurative side to it. Whereas mentally, as you're going to learn when you get your Jeep back, once you've rolled, that first few moments you're off camber, it's not an enjoyable experience. And you get that, there's a lot of self-talk. You're going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And there's a lot of, for me, my first roll, it didn't feel that off camber. Okay, stop. They know. He knows. But
I know.
Time, I didn't feel like it was that
bad. We're getting
bad.
there. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm sure that's part of the plan. But my first one, I didn't feel like I was that off camber. And I was actually rather surprised to find out that I was falling over. And because I've been more off camber and not fallen over. And I still to this day, I'm not quite sure how that one happened. Getting back on the horse after that, anytime I was on like a little rock, I'd be like, am I okay? Am I okay? And Matt's like, you're fine. You're fine. I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? Because I didn't trust my own judgment anymore. And I think some of that is, Holly Fowler says it best, seat time over anything, over everything. The more seat time you have, the better you are at wheeling. And the fear is going to always be there, and there better always be a little bit of fear, because if you get overly cocky, you're in big trouble too. You have to trust your Jeep, you have to trust your build, you got to trust yourself, and then you have to trust your spotter. So for me, if it's a new trail, especially a really new technical trail, I have to trust my spotter and build that relationship, that communication, all that kind of stuff. So the major challenge for me has been overcoming fear after my flops.
Has it changed the way you wheel at all? Your rolls?
My second one changed me probably more than my first one. I did another rebuild after my first one. So it was going to go in and get new axles and new body armor, new suspension, and a whole bunch of other stuff was planned for it anyway. But my second roll, I had just gotten it back. I mean, she was perfect. Like, she'd just gotten out of the body shop. I mean, like, everything was absolutely perfect on it. And that one was a little tougher because I was very upset with myself for that one. The other complication with the second one is I hit my head when I rolled through the open window on a rock. So I had a concussion from that, and I don't remember the actual roll. So
not only that, she couldn't figure out why her head hurt on this side too.
Well, that's not.
And so our friend actually had taken a picture at that moment when her steel cup is flying through the air
cup holder
and whacking her on the side of the head at the same time.
So it's hitting me on this side, and then this side's hitting the rock coming through the open window.
Oh my goodness.
You know how Colorado is. There's lots of rocks.
Yeah.
Anywho, that one, I don't have any fear after that because I don't have a conscious memory of that roll. So, but my body remembered. So the next
she doesn't
time,
remember 15 minutes of it.
Yeah, I can't process that memory.
Wow.
So, which I think is kind of a blessing in disguise because it took me a long time to get over it the first time. The second time, my body kind of seizes up when it's in that position because it kind of remembers, but I don't have a conscious memory of it, which I think is a blessing. So yeah, the first thing I remember is sitting on the side and it was raining, looking at my Jeep on its side thinking, now what happened here? Like, how did that happen? I'm like, What the heck happened?
She's telling me, Matt, you have to turn off my Jeep. Why is my Jeep on? And I'm like,
did I say that?
something. Yeah, you're saying
like after it rolled. You mean?
Yeah.
So since you rolled, have you done that same obstacle again?
No, and I probably won't.
Either one?
No, I actually haven't done either of them now.
Yeah,
the first one was on Twister Trail, which is a trail here, a pretty well-known trail here in Sand Mountain. And I haven't gone back and done that one yet. And I haven't been back to Colorado since that. Well, we went from there and ran Holy Cross and
we did Chinamans
and stuff afterwards.
Other stuff like that.
Probably shouldn't have been doing that with a concussion, but I was only going to be there for the week, so I went.
She's like, I want a wheel. I'm like,
so after how long did it take you to get your Gladiator after watching?
I finally got my YJ kind of dialed in. And we were trailing it. I blew the head gasket again, which was awesome because I drove it super, super, super fast, and it was very hot. Had a great time doing that.
That's just a little example of our YJ build experience. There you go.
Yeah.
There's just a little sample of what those 3 years was like.
Anyway, had a great time building that and all that. But then I got somebody, gentleman purchased it actually.
He wasn't even for sale. He was selling an extra soft top, and he had it posted with his Jeep holding up the soft top box. And the guy said, "Hey, is your YJ for sale?"
And I'm like,
"Hey, make me an offer because it's in the shop again." So, and he did, and it worked out.
It worked out.
We lost our shirts on it, but
a little bit, yeah. But that was enough for us to basically, she had seen this Gladiator actually up in Colorado. I flew with my son to Colorado and handed the gentleman, who, by the way, is just the nicest person, handed him the check basically after test driving it, and I'm like, on my way to Trail Hero.
And drove it to Trail Hero.
And I wheeled the whole week. I mean, it was
wow.
Yeah, the first time I saw it was out here. So.
Yeah. We had a great time, with it as it was.
It came as a really great build.
Yeah.
But it needed some stuff done to it. And then we partnered with RPM Steering to change out the suspension. Yep. And now it's like next level craziness. Yep. So I call him one up ya man. I don't know if you've heard me say that about him. Like, my Jeep is amazing, but his Jeep is a little bit more amazing. I'm on 40s, he's on 42s. I've got amazing shocks with reservoirs. He's got these crazy racing shocks with like even bigger reservoirs. It's like one up you, man.
I think that the Gladiator market is really set to take off.
He says he thinks the Gladiator is going to be the new LJ. I'm like, I'm not sure about that.
That wasn't me that said that. Somebody said that to me.
Quoted someone.
I quoted
that. Is such. I'm going to clip that. That's going to be
the Gladiator is the next LJ. The new LJ.
All the LJ guys are like, ah!
I know they're rolling over.
We love LJ guys just because we can harass them about being LJ snobs. Yeah, it's just like so much fun. We just dig that.
Some of them will even hang out with us.
Yeah, some of them occasionally slum it with us.
So I'm assuming when you wheel, you go and you take both Jeeps.
Yeah.
Typically,
so how is it like you're watching Julie do something crazy or vice versa?
I love it. The crazier the better as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, he's not the husband who puts me on easy lines. He's the husband who tries to find the hardest lines for me to go on.
Yep.
And I'm out there struggling with my manual and my little 40-inch tires, which in my crowd is little, killing myself, and I'm working really hard and I'm getting up the obstacle, and then he gets up and goes bloop, like right over it like it's nothing, and I'm like, where are you?
See, I'm not the prototypical husband, I guess. I don't know. I think she can do anything, literally anything. And so I think the only thing that holds her back usually is her. And so basically
having to drive it home.
Well, there's that too. When we were first starting out at events and whatnot, and we had spotters that were like professional spotters and whatnot, I would ask them to put her on the hardest line.
Now, mind you, we're wheeling with people who, they get up to the harder obstacles and the woman gets out and has her husband drive. That happens a lot, right?
Send her on the hardest one.
Not me. My husband's like, hey, this looks too easy over here.
Don't put her over there. Put her over there. You watch.
I do like a challenge. I like technical trails. Yeah. I'm not a send it kind of girl. I don't have a lot of power in my engine. I have a stock V6 and it's underpowered for the weight of my Jeep at this point. I like to crawl everything. I like to find a line. I like to fiddle around until I can find a good line. That's more how I enjoy wheeling. People are like, hey, you got to really give it some onion. I'm like, don't have a lot of onion. I can give it a little.
You said your first Jeep was black?
This same Jeep started out black, yeah.
So how did the whole Aqua Jeep thing start?
Well, I love the color of the sea in Maui.
Oh,
That's your favorite color?
You can see I'm a sea turtle fan. I love the ocean, and I wish we could live in Maui and snorkel with sea turtles full time, but that's not the life that we live. So this is as close as I could get to an ocean in the desert, basically, is where the color came from. I always wanted a Tiffany blue Jeep. The JL, when Jeep came out with it, had their teal color, and I was like so excited for this bikini pearl I'd heard about. And then I saw it and I'm like, not the color I was anticipating. So my Jeep was a leftover, so it had been around for a year. Nobody wanted it. It was black and a manual and a sport. Nobody wanted a sport, apparently. So I got a killer deal on it. And with those savings, I went ahead and got a 3M vinyl wrap put on it to make it the color I wanted. And the rest, as they say, is history. So she's painted permanently that color now, but she was wrapped for those 4 years. Yeah. I love the color and I wanted it to stay that way permanently. You have to rewrap every 3 to 4 years. My first roll, we went through insurance to get it fixed up, and they were going to paint it the way back to black, and I had a wrap company here in town I was going to work with and get it rewrapped. And then my friend Randy says to me, she goes, why don't you see if they can just paint it aqua? Why had I not even thought of that? I'm like, well, only half of the Jeep was getting painted. That was part of it. But I talked to my body shop. I said, hey, can I make up the difference? And you just
shout out to Troy's.
Yeah, Troy's
we love
Custom.
you, Troy's.
You know, we support you.
She's coming to see you again for that door.
And they take great care of my Jeep, and they do a phenomenal job for me. Troy's Custom is the body shop here in town. And it's funny, the second time I rolled, I called him up when I got back after my Colorado trip. And I said, hey, he's like, I saw your video. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, because I literally had just gotten it back like a month before, and it was absolutely perfect. No.
So what's the craziest obstacle or trail you guys have done?
Craziest obstacle. You got to be nuts, which I think is a well-named obstacle. If you've seen that one, it's like a 4-story climb.
I did see that one. Oh my gosh, I saw you do that. Yeah,
I've done it like 6 times. One time I failed on it, but I got right back and did it again. So
how do you fail on that? You start going up and you stop.
I have it up on my page somewhere. I should probably pin it because it's pretty entertaining. So I was too far passenger, and I guess I didn't appreciate that there's a line, but it's a real momentum.
There's actually a real line.
Yeah, you got to kind of do right down the middle. I was too far passenger, and then I ran out of steam when I got up there, and I just didn't have enough oomph to keep going and get over this last bump at the end. So you start climbing back down. That part's not enjoyable.
So she comes back down, and she's actually somewhat sideways, and she lands sort of like on her rear tire.
Too. But you lift a big tire coming back down.
And she's lifting, and she was able to kind of come back.
But what I did, and otherwise I would have never done this obstacle again, is I backed off, lined up. Actually, I overcorrected. I went too far passenger on the second run, but I was able to successfully get up.
She went right at it again and did it.
Good for you.
Yeah. So. Thank God it was successful the second time, because I don't think I'd ever go back and do that one again if I hadn't gotten up there that second time. So, you go out with a group and everybody's like, oh,
everybody does it.
Everybody wants to do, you got to be nuts. I'm like, it really isn't for everybody. And I don't know that I want to do it again. I mean, I've done it 6 times. I'm happy. I came, I saw, I climbed, and I'll probably do it again. Who am I kidding? I don't feel like I have to prove anything. I think that's one nice thing about where I am in my wheeling experience now. Maybe when I was first starting out, there were some times, I think that first time we ever ran the maze, I feel like I had to prove myself to people. But I feel like I'm super content with where we are in life. We've been through a lot this past year. I'm trying to remember why we got into wheeling in the first place. We loved it. It was full of joy. It was fun. And then you kind of get in a point where it's just, you're leveling up, and everything's a terrifying experience. Like you get to the point where everything's a 9 rated trail that you're running. And I'm not an adrenaline junkie. I know it probably doesn't look that way sometimes, but I'm really not an adrenaline junkie. I want to go out and I want to enjoy my day on the trail. Yes, if there's a technical obstacle, and I love figuring out the technical stuff, and I want to find a way through something, and it doesn't look like I have a way to get through it, but I can try this. And that's the part I like. I like that technical side of it. I don't want to be scared like the whole time I'm out wheeling. Like I don't get a rush.
Yeah, that's not fun. Yeah, no.
Some people really do. Like we have friends who just are. There are some people who really enjoy, the near-death experience. I'll do like one obstacle that's a little sketchy or something, and I want to enjoy the rest of the day. Like I've kind of found myself pulling back a little bit just in the last few months. I want to explore more of southern Utah, or even Utah in general, where we live. I want to go hiking. I want to go check things out. Like all we do, I can't complain about this. I can't believe I'm going to say this. All we do is wheel. But
I feel so sorry for you.
I know, it's a tragedy.
Don't know who she is.
I love it. I do love going out wheeling and saying hello, but I want to look around and see what else there is. I mean, like Zion National Park is 20 minutes from our house, and we've gone 3 times.
So throughout the summer, and the fall, it was, and even in the early winter, it was like escalating. Find the next hard trail, and do that thing. You know,
I was kind of suckered into a couple easy days that turned into harder days as the trail went on. Like, oh, sure, we'll run Double Stammy, which is a 7-rated trail. We end the day on Joint Effort, which is what, a high 8 or something. And I'm like, that's not what I signed up for. You know, things like that kept happening. When our friends, Josh and Christina, passed away in January,
that was a big deal.
On New Year's Day, I was already feeling a little bit burned out on the constant stressful. It was just too much. We'd been wheeling a lot. I mean, like a lot. Like the house was a disaster. Like we hadn't been home. Like we were just out, like an event. If you've been to events and you know how like 5 or 6 days in a row of wheeling is, it was like week after week after week after week of that. And we were I was starting to get kind of burned out on that. And then New Year's Day, Josh and Christina died in that car accident, that horrendous call I got that I still have a hard time believing happened. And that one took the wind out of my sails completely. Like I didn't even want to drive my Jeep to the store. I'm still really impacted by that. Like they lived a very similar life to us. You know, they were out wheeling like we wheel, and with our kids, we were out on the trail all the time.
Every event. Yeah.
They drove their Jeep on the highway, which is where it happened. Like we do the same thing with ours. You know, they built their Jeeps, you know, the way we built our Jeeps. My oldest daughter, when I was talking to her about it, because she knew them well as well, she said, Mom, what's to keep that from happening to you? Like, what's different? You know, how do we keep you safe and the kids safe and everybody else safe? And that took the wind out of my sails. I'm not going to lie. Like I didn't wheel for me, I didn't wheel for weeks, which is saying a lot. And then Winter Jamboree was right after that. We had friends in town, and I went out one day because we had a trail that we led as a memorial trail for them. And we spent the day with friends on the trail reminiscing. And it was a wonderful,
it was incredible,
like really healing, very cathartic, therapeutic day together. And we did a memorial service for them at the meet and greet the night before. So, but that was it for me wheeling pretty much all of January. I didn't go out on the trail, and I'm out a couple times a week on average, you know? So I just felt like I needed to pull back, and I kind of lost a lot of the joy of it. We just ran Slip Lock this weekend, which was a trail I always think of Josh and Christina on. And, you know, we're out with friends. It was a small group. It was perfect for us this weekend. And it was bittersweet, you know, remembering Josh sitting there spotting me going around this one thing we call Scarlet's Ridge, you know, him sitting there. First time I've run that trail without him spotting me over that spot, and getting through Hardtop Alley. I had a little trouble. He wasn't there to spot me through it like he usually does, you know, just they've left a huge void in our lives. The ripple effect has been that I, for a long time, just haven't been wanting to wheel. So we didn't get out much even in February. He started cutting a new trail, and that was kind of what brought us back to wanting to do more trail stuff. It's really been very hard to find the joy in it again for us. We're still reeling from it. It's just one of those, you know, all the things that you take home from it, you know, the practical stuff, have a will, have multiple copies of a will, you know, plan a trust, all that kind of stuff. The practical stuff is there too. But, you know, don't miss opportunities to tell the people you love that you love them. Don't take anything for granted. Nothing's promised. There's no guarantees. They lived life very fully. They were, you know, if there was anything going on, they were always there. They drove to Texas. They drove to Utah. They were all over the place. They were a great example of kind of a carpe diem kind of family. You know, they went camping. They were out, you know, wheeling. They were always out doing something. They never missed an opportunity to live it. You know, in their honor, we try to continue on with that type of lifestyle, even though sometimes my heart's not fully in it, just mourning them at the process of it.
How do I turn this around? No.
Okay, so my favorite trail, or my favorite obstacle. So I don't know about trail. My most challenging trail was cutting the trail that I higher anxiety.
I named it.
Yeah.
Well, our last name is Higher. And so it's kind of a play on words there. Most people don't get that part of it because it's spelled Higher, but it's pronounced Higher.
Yeah,
I love it.
And our wonderful friend Ernie.
I could do this work all day long, every day. It's fun.
He picked an area. It's a great area, and it's beautiful out there where the trail is. But there's some seriously gigantic canyons. One he calls Wall Street. It's just gigantic. It's like a little Grand Canyon. Trying to find a way across there safely, like things like that, is what part of cutting this trail got kind of really anxiety laden. And
a lot of it's super, super off camber, you know,
which is not either of our favorite thing, especially his.
Yeah.
But our good friend Ernie was out there winching, and we call it going fishing. There's one day he got stuck in this canyon, man, 5 times in a row. We had to fish him.
I thought it was 4 times.
No, I think it was 5.
Is this a fishing story?
I don't know, but it was a lot. And like we tried to get him, he was trying to back out of this. And of course, he's driving a limousine.
I'm
right?
like, I can make it down there. I'm going to go try that.
I'm like, no. And Ernie says, and we both said, Ernie did, he's like, I don't think that's a good plan. I think you need to go across this way. And Matt looked at that way. He's like, I don't want to go that way.
Let me just put tires on it. I'm like, let me just put tires on it. So he pulls me out, and I'm like, Ernie's Revenge. This obstacle is now named Ernie's Revenge. You know,
which isn't really fair because Ernie doesn't want revenge.
He doesn't want revenge.
We all know Ernie was right.
He's the sweetest, most awesome guy ever.
If someone goes and does the trail, or multiple people go and do the trail and get hurt or whatever, would they close it?
I don't think so, no, because people roll out here all the time in Sand Hollow.
Yeah.
It's not like Colorado, I don't think, where there's like legislation type stuff or like feedback where that's concerned. It's an at your own risk sport. Like people who die in the Grand Canyon all the time, and nobody dies on our trails, by the way. But people fall to their death in the Grand Canyon all the time, but they're not going to close the national park, right? You assume a certain level of risk when you're in this sport. There are people who roll over all over Sand Mountain. Mm-hmm. There's people who roll over in Colorado. There's people, and the thing is, once you rolled, and now the way you rolled in particular, it happens at the time you just don't think it's going to I've looked at your video and I thought that doesn't look like that's enough to make him roll down that hill. Our friend Pope, when he flopped his Jeep, it was, maneuvering out of the way of something. It wasn't any like a major obstacle. Mm-hmm. It's not the kind of thing that you're like, there's certain risks like you take, right? You expect there's a chance you're going to roll on something gnarly. But when you're just backing up to get out of the way for someone on the trail or just going around a tree branch or whatever it is, you don't expect to roll in that position. That's how this sport works. At any given time, on any trail at any time, the more you wheel, the more you're out there, your probability of rolling goes higher. It happens. Happens to the best of us, happens to the worst of us. It happens.
So as far as your Instagram, how's that journey been?
I call myself an accidental influencer because I started my Jeep page because I didn't know anyone who owned a Jeep when I bought my Jeep. I didn't know, like I said, I didn't know how to air down. I didn't even know what airing down was. I didn't know how to find any trails in Arizona. I didn't know anything about anything. So I really needed some friends with Jeeps and friends that people are like, hey, why don't you start your own, Instagram and Facebook page for find Jeep friends, meet Jeep people. I'm like, a page for your vehicle? I'm like, that seems a little strange. Plus back then, this is like 6 years ago, I didn't even really know how to post on Instagram when I started my Instagram. Like my oldest daughter, who's also known as my biggest critic, had to make my first few posts for me because I didn't know what I was doing. And she also loves to tease me about it mercilessly. Like, Mom, this is the stupidest thing ever, but this is how you do it. So she would put it up for me or whatever. And I'm like, honey, I don't care. I don't know anybody. I need to make friends who have Jeeps. And that's kind of how it started. And truthfully, that's the best part of it is the community that we built through it. The companies I get to work with, dream come true. Like I would have, if you told 5 years ago me that this is the life we'd be living, I would not believe you, so.
But the amazing people that we became friends with in Arizona.
Yeah, most of our best friends are all Jeep people.
It's just incredible people in Arizona. and then being able to come out here and find amazing people here and also in Colorado. We can't get enough of Colorado.
Everywhere we go, we know people now.
We were driving through Nebraska, middle of Nebraska. Like, nothing is around. And this guy,
we were towing the Jeep.
Yeah, we were in a Cummins Dodge towing her Jeep on a flatbed. We come up to a stop sign and this guy pulls up and he's like, what did he say to you?
This young guy's like, I follow you on Instagram.
Oh my gosh. Aqua Jeep girl. And we're like,
so cute.
We're like, what the heck is going on out here, Well, there was another time where Don from RPM is taking my Jeep out to Great Smoky Mountain, right? He rebuilt it and then took it out there. And then on the way back, he got into a windstorm in Texas and my fender just like
left the chat,
right?
Blew off the Gladiator.
And it was so funny because people were actually messaging me and messaging her with pictures.
Hey, we just saw your Gladiator.
The Gladiator missing the fender. And Don calls up and he's like, hey man, really sorry about this. I don't know how to tell you this, but your fender's gone. And I'm like, don't worry, Don, I have a picture. And I sent it to him. And he's like, how the heck did you get that picture? And I'm like, I have lots of people all over the country, but it was incredible actually. And so
who's a better spotter between you two?
I think she spots me better, because sometimes I'm a little dyslexic. So I'll say sometimes I'll be like, driver, passenger. You know what I mean? Like, just for, it makes it more exciting.
Because I don't have enough excitement with the stick shift and all the other challenges.
No, I can spot her over just about anything.
He can spot me well, but sometimes you just got to go with what you think he's trying to tell you versus what he's saying. Because he'll tell me passenger and I know he means driver. And I'm like, you don't want me to turn passenger right now. I'm pretty sure you mean driver. He's like, yeah, driver. And I'm like, oh. Whereas I can spot you pretty well, I think, at this point. I know his build
I think I'm
well.
a better spotter, but you know.
So how do you balance? How many kids do you have?
Well, we have 4 total. Only 2 live with us right now.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
our two oldest daughters are grown and live in different states. One in Colorado. Oh, no, she's not Colorado now. She's in Arizona.
Mhm.
And then our other daughter's in Minnesota.
Okay.
And then our little guys, we've adopted our youngest 2 kiddos who are now 7 and 8. But they've been in the Jeep since they were 1 and 2. They've grown up off-road, basically.
Yep.
They play in the dirt as a regular part of their lives. And that's
They've
just our
known
lives.
this. They've known EJS. They've known
Yeah, they go to all the events.
all the trails.
We're family wheelers.
They've been to
Our-
King of the Hammers. They've, like all of that stuff. They just,
If we're out, they're out with us for the most part, like
Yeah.
98% of the time, unless usually my oldest daughter will watch them for us sometimes, like that we
You
live.
see them going into Jeeping?
Our younger 2, for sure. They both talk about wanting to inherit our vehicles and
Mhm.
things like that, or building his own. And Junior's pretty mechanically inclined.
Junior wants to run Ultra 4.
So yeah, I wish we'd gotten into it younger. That's my only regret, is that we waited too long to get into this. It's a wonderful lifestyle, and I wish we had done
And
it
such
sooner.
good people. So,
All right, rapid fire. Ready? Favorite trail snack?
Pretzels.
pretzels.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What's your dream Jeep build with an unlimited budget?
I do love my Jeep. I like that Jeep that Off-Road Affair has, actually.
Oh, Mistress? It is I think that one's a wide open designs tube chassis. That is a dream build.
That
Oh.
YJ that we saw at Slorex too.
Yeah.
That one was pretty
What was that?
spectacular.
Sessions, I think. Beautiful. That YJ. I think that they're up in Fort Collins. Oh my gosh, that thing's freaking amazing.
My Jeep is pretty close to being, everything I want it to be. Though I'll be honest, we talk about selling things or whatever. I could never sell my Jeep. I love my Jeep.
I think she would get rid of me before her Jeep, to be
We-
perfectly honest with
We've
you.
grown up together the last 5 years. Like she started out stock, and then she had a 2-inch lift, and then she had a 4.5-inch lift, and now she's got, double triangulated rear suspension, 3-link front, and
Mhm.
coilovers. And so we've grown up together, from not knowing how to air down to tackling pretty challenging trails successfully together. And we've bonded through, damage and scary stuff and happy times, and through COVID and all of that. And the only thing I would change on my Jeep now would be to get a different transfer case, I think, to have a lower crawl ratio so they don't stall again.
LS, just LS.
And he
swap
wants me
it.
to get a more powerful engine, maybe someday. We'll see.
What's one thing you have in your Jeep besides recovery gear?
I have a whole bunch of fluids and whatnot
Oh, he
that I
brings a lot
bring
of- yeah, he
just
brings
in
a lot
case.
of-
I've got every tool that I can possibly fit in my Jeep too.
Probably my radio too. I like to have my radio. I like to have
yeah.
communication.
What's one off-roading myth?
That women can't wheel as well as men.
There you go.
It's a good
I
one.
like it.
We talk about this maybe because I'm old at this point. I'm really content with my life. Like, I am content with who I am. I'm content with how we spend our time. I love our family. That's what comes first in our lives. We're people of faith. God comes first in our lives too. And we're just content. Like, I don't feel like I have to prove myself to anybody. I don't feel like I have to impress anybody. I'm not here to impress people. I'm here to make friends and build community and encourage others to try this wonderful sport that we found. And if there are women out there who haven't wheeled before and are scared,
You can do
you're
it.
not alone. We all start out scared. My
Yep.
friend Sherry likes to say, do it scared. That's how it works. You work through the fear, you face the obstacle, you overcome the challenge. That's how we all grow, and that's how you grow in this sport as well. And don't wait, do it now. Don't waste the time. Make the most of every opportunity you're given. If you're on the fence about it, do it. Friends, and I love the community. I love the people we've met, the relationships we've built, the life that we get to live. We're super blessed to get to live this life. Not everybody gets this opportunity. And that's kind of why I started my page. I'm like, hey, do it. If I can
And
do
then
it,
Matt
anybody
was jealous, so he had to start his own page.
now he's doing it. You see? And he's even doing it. One up you, man.
Oh, dude, I love it.
Totally one up you, man. If you ask Steven, he'll tell you. Steven calls him cheat code.
If your life had a theme song, what song would it be?
The Benny Hill theme song.
Anything by Journey is my favorite wheeling song. I love Stone in Love by Journey. That's probably one of my favorite songs ever. Most people don't know that one because it's not
I'm
on.
like,
his
I don't
album.
think I even know that one.
Do yourself a favor. It's my favorite Journey song. Meaning wise, I would say there's a song by Trace Atkins that talks about making the most of the time that you've got here and not waiting. Don't waste time, basically. And that's probably the one that has the most impact in that. And I think losing Josh and Christina reinforced what I already knew. When my older girls were little, we homeschooled them for 8 years. And I had a friend, a mentor woman in my life many years ago who said, these are the good old days. You're going to look back on these days. And that really stayed with me for the last 15 years. I've lived like these are the good old days because, time goes by so quickly. We call them round two, the little guys. Round one of children are 24 and 21, and our round two are 7 and 8. So we've lived through this already once, so we know how quickly this time goes. And, we joke that the days are long, but the years are short. It's exhausting raising little kids at our age, but it's just the most wonderful life. And we know that this goes by super quick, even though some days it doesn't feel like it.
There's an artist I listen to a lot, Andrew Peterson, and there's a song that says, "Don't you want to thank someone?" And, I wouldn't be here without other people. You know what I mean? So without God helping me out, really, without the people that have kind of helped me along, in this journey. So
thanks for hanging. I'm glad we were able to do this.
Yeah, sorry it took us long to get our acts together, but
yeah.
All right, guys, that was fun. Yeah, we just kept chatting, and we could probably keep chatting for longer and longer. They're a great couple. I can't wait to wheel with them someday. And I hope you like it. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks, guys.